Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to 12 Days Pod. I'm Cara Zelaya, and I'm here with my co-host, boyfriend, partner, co-plant parent, Dan Takaki.
Hello, everyone.
So like all recordings, we are recording this in the past, but this is the real past. Like we are in the hot Virginia summertime during the COVID-19 pandemic, fully quarantining for the foreseeable future. So naturally, we decided to create a podcast that is so short-lived that it's only relevant for 12 weeks out of the year, which incidentally is how long Christmas is meant to be celebrated.
Absolutely, that is correct.
We are two very festive people whose first date was at a Christmas parade in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah. Where's Duluth, Minnesota?
I don't know. And because it's 2020 and our relationship started ambiguously somewhere in fall or winter, we just decided to always celebrate our anniversary by going to a small town Christmas parade, most recently in Manassas, Virginia. We're taking recommendations for this year, so let us know. You're here to listen to us talk about some Christmas movies. This really isn't that serious. Most movies are fine, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, babe, why don't you take it away?
Absolutely. So on this episode of 12 Days Pod, we're going to be talking about the movie Home Alone. Cara has never seen this, so I had her write down some thoughts about what she thought the movie was going to be about beforehand.
I wasn't that far off.
No, you were pretty spot on, but there was some casting differences that you thought, and a little bit of twist on what you thought Santa's role in this whole thing would be.
Santa's role in this film, I'll get to this on my notes, but like surprisingly minimal. These are the thoughts that I had that were jotted down. Number one, I thought Danny DeVito was the robber. I knew there was a robber and I thought it was Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci are Italian.
I love Danny DeVito, but for some reason, famously, I threw an entire themed party that was Danny DeVito themed. But
Did anyone dress up from somebody from Home Alone from that?
No, but Danny DeVito has a wide range of work. Anyway, I love him. I do confuse him with Joe Pesci, which is wild because they're not similar at all, except that they're, I guess, small and Italian. Anyway, I thought Danny DeVito was the robber. They forgot the kid at home. I was right about that. That's what that movie is entirely about.
Yeah, the movie called Home Alone.
It's not Forgot the Kid at Home Alone, okay? It's just Home Alone.
That's true.
That it was at Christmas. I knew that it didn't take place in New York because the second one takes place in New York. I've also not seen that one. And that it would vaguely be the Chicago suburbs, which I was right.
Yes.
I thought the mom and dad are dry and boring, which, I don't know, kind of half right on that. I thought the amount of children would be one baby sister and then seen with a baby in a car seat saying, "Wow, where's Macaulay Culkin?" I guess I did think this. I'm reading the notes beforehand. I'm not sure if I thought the baby would talk or if the baby sister would talk. I don't know. Reading comic books up to no good. Not sure what I meant by this, but...
Well, there were comic books in the movie.
Was he reading comic books?
Well, Buzz's brother had comic books and Playboys. Up to no good, sure.
You mean Buzz, not Buzz's brother.
Buzz.
Okay.
His brother Buzz.
I thought he would do the risky... I'm just going to read this directly. Does the risky business dance, comma, for sure.
He did not do the risky business dance, but I could see where you probably could imagine him doing that.
Yeah, and then that it's an hour and 42 minutes long. I think I had just looked that up. And that I was a strong advocate for that because I think movies are too long and I will go down with that ship.
And later on, Cara's going to talk about how he could make this movie even shorter.
Yeah, that movie's too long. And then at the end, Santa gives him a wink, like a meaningful wink. I don't remember Santa Claus at all in this film.
Santa's in it because he like wishes for his family to come home at one point, but it's just the guy in the car, and he's like, "Here's a mint or a Tic Tac." Remember Tic Tacs, everyone? This episode's sponsored by Tic Tacs. The little pills that sometimes taste like candy and sometimes taste like mints.
For the record, they're not pills. We do not want a defamation suit from Big Tic Tac.
Big Tic Tac.
It's going to come after us.
I guarantee you in this 5 minutes I've said TikTok instead of Tic Tac. So let me give a quick recap for anyone who hasn't seen this 30-year-old movie.
And if it's spoiled for you, like, that's on you.
Put it in here now. Spoiler alert coming for the movie Home Alone.
It came out in 1990.
1990s
30
Home
years
Alone.
Ago.
So Home Alone stars Macaulay Culkin as the titular Home Alone. And
his name is Home Alone.
His name is Home Alone. No. So as part of our first game, what is Macaulay Culkin's character's name?
I don't No.
His name is Kevin McCallister, and he
Oh,
lives
yeah.
in Winnetka, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. It's also
Every
where
Kevin's name is forgotten. Like, the Jonas Brothers are proof of this. Anyway, go off.
I'm not here for this Kevin Jonas erasure. Anyway, so the movie is about Kevin McCallister, who gets in a fight with his family because they all think he's a little runt, and they're about to go on a vacation to Paris for Christmas, I guess, which is a thing that people do.
Must be
and
nice.
so Kevin McCallister wishes that his family was never born. He says the line, "I wish my family would disappear," and then he wakes up the next day, finds out everybody's gone when they were late to their flight, and
By
says
the
the
way,
phrase.
they just forgot him. No magic happens in this movie. Bummer.
There's no magic in this movie. He just says the phrase, "I made my family disappear." There are two robbers named Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. I don't know their actual names in the movie, but they call themselves the Wet Bandits because Daniel Stern's character always floods the house of the people who they rob.
Is Daniel Stern like a household name? What else has he been in?
Nothing. I don't know.
Okay, just the way you said that.
I just wrote down his name.
Got it.
This movie stars Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, and the mom and dad, who are played by Catherine O'Hara and John Hurd.
Oh, and then John Candy's in it.
John Candy.
It's
John
going
Candy.
in my notes. I have notes.
John Candy makes a cameo in this movie. Anyway, so quick synopsis of this movie that we're trying to do is Macaulay Culkin gets left at home alone and has to defend for himself for like a week until like his mom tries to come home and rescue him.
Yeah, and in that time, two robbers come in and try to rob
Try
his
to
home.
try to rob him.
And he booby traps it. Can we get into my I have notes?
Yeah. Also, Macaulay Culkin's neighbor is a creepy old man that finds out. Macaulay Culkin's neighbor is a creepy old man that they think is a scary murderer, but really he's a gentle, nice man who misses his family and helps Macaulay Culkin in the end. But that's the plot of Home Alone. But I guess spoiler alert: Kevin McCallister does not die, and the Wet Bandits go to jail, and they get out in Home Alone 2. Spoiler alert for Home Alone 2. Cara now has a lot of things that she has taken umbrage with this movie, and has some hot takes and rewrites that she wants to share with us all.
So again, this is like the first one that we've seen that we wanted to talk about. So like, bear with me because I have notes. Number one, I guess I don't like slapstick comedy because I really was enjoying this movie. I thought it was great. I thought Macaulay Culkin is so cute. We don't talk enough about how cute Macaulay Culkin is in this movie.
I think we do. I think we talk enough about how cute he is in this movie.
No, we don't talk about it. He is...
I think you just missed the window for this movie.
I was born in 1990. I am as old as this movie.
No, I know. You missed the window for his cuteness, though, is what I'm saying.
He's so cute in this movie.
He's very cute in this movie.
Like, he's so charismatic. He's such a good actor. He carries this entire movie. It's literally like a one-man show.
He was nominated for best actor for. He got a Golden Globe nominee for this movie.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Good. He should
Part of my trivia facts coming up later.
Well, that's amazing. He deserves to just continue to ride that for the rest of his life, which I know he has.
He has, yes.
He's so cute in this. And I was enjoying this lovely boy being sad that his family's gone, going grocery shopping in suburban Chicago, living his truth, learning character and strength through Boo Radley. I was here for it. And then the last, 40 minutes of this movie, which is why I take umbrage with the fact that you're like, oh, it's about him defending his home. No, because... Yes, the robbers are trying to break into the house throughout the movie. Like, we see Joe Pesci right away. I hear you. I see it in your eyes. But they don't show up and actually break into the house until the last, 40 minutes.
Because the first 3 other nights of the movie, he's smart enough to trick them into thinking somebody else is home.
Fine. That was fine. This movie is too long. Let me just say this. There's, 40 minutes... Maybe I'm exaggerating, but realistically 20 minutes of slapstick comedy where Joe Pesci, right? Not Danny DeVito. Joe Pesci. And whatever his name is, are just injuring themselves. And as someone who, is too empathetic for their own good, anytime someone suffers pain, even if they're the bad guys in a movie, it is, physical pain. It hurts me. It's awful. And you said something along the lines of that Macaulay Culkin is definitely the makings of a serial killer.
He is.
But then you're but he's protecting his home. That's the plot of the movie.
He is. You can be both of those things.
I guess so. I just think We needed at most 5 minutes of this. And, like, I guess I just also missed the window of being a little boy, of being like, how would I booby trap my house to protect them from robbers?
Yes. Famously, you don't remember anything from before the age of 7, which is about how old Macaulay Culkin is in this movie.
That's true. I don't remember anything from my childhood. Very little. So I don't love that. Other thing. You're going to throw in a gem like John Candy, and he's just going to be like a teeny tiny part of this movie? Why? John Candy's amazing.
John Candy has his own movie with Macaulay Culkin called Uncle Buck. It came out before this movie. That's why he's in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I
have
seen half of
There's
Uncle
a movie
Buck.
that takes place in basically the same city and basically the same part of
Well, yeah,
town.
because these are John Hughes movies.
They're all John Hughes movies, right?
Yeah. Famously, Dan is from the suburbs of Chicago, and so this seems to be very close to home.
Famously from Chicago.
Say Chicago.
Chicago.
Dead giveaway.
Sorry, how do you want me to say Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
Chicago.
Now you said it like me.
No, I'm saying I always say Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any, like, super huge notes other than to say slapstick comedy's dumb. We need to be done with it. It was the 90s. I get it. Whatever. 30 years ago. But it was just not... I feel like it deviated from what would have been a really cute, heartwarming movie. I liked this movie, for the record. But I thought it would... it would just be so much better. There's no reason to make a family movie longer than 80 minutes there. I'll say it. I'm brave.
I don't know what to say to that other than sure, but like this is like a fully length feature film.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be. It can be longer than 80 minutes.
It doesn't need to be 40 minutes of slapstick.
It wasn't 40 minutes of slapstick.
Whatever. It doesn't need to be more than 5 minutes of slapstick, and then we could have gone on with the. So we have this amazing, compelling old man who's like a Boo Radley type character. The second they saw him, and they're like, "This is Old Man Jenkins" or whatever. I was like, here's Boo Radley, the best person on earth. I cannot wait. Tell me his story, and then we hear his sad past, and I'm like, yeah, that should be the A plot.
No, because
and the robber should be the C plot, and John Candy should be the B plot. There, I fixed this film.
No, because the old man isn't home alone.
Yes, he is. He's very alone.
Okay.
He's so. Oh my gosh, you're right. You draw the parallel between active old man loneliness of being abandoned by your family to Macaulay. That's an excellent film. Thanks, babe. You're right. Home Alone. It's like Hamilton. Is it about Eliza as well?
I don't know. I haven't seen Hamilton. I don't know what you're talking about. Old Man Jenkins is a good character. He's a great character. But, like, the movie's not about him. It doesn't need to be about him.
I know,
it shouldn't be about him.
That's the problem.
No.
Look,
that's a different movie entirely.
A plot. Yes, he's home alone. Macaulay. He's so cute. And also, cute old man is home alone. B plot. John Candy and his polka band really are the father that Macaulay Culkin deserves there. I said it. With Catherine O'Hara? No.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah,
nice,
with Catherine O'Hara. Okay,
Kate,
yeah.
Mom. Kevin's mom. Mrs. McCallister.
Yeah. Make her a single mom. What is the dad doing in that movie? Nothing. C, make John Candy part of the B plot. Part of B, in which Catherine, like, they don't even have to get together. They just are like, oh, he's a lovely man. Wouldn't it be nice? And then you can put in your 5 minutes of this robber. Joe Pesci is fine in this movie. The best part is when he's like dressed up as a cop in the beginning of it. Like he's very good at that. And like there's all this chaos going on. Like I actually thought that was also too much exposition, to be honest, but like fine.
Yeah, that's where you cut the 20 minutes out of the movie is the front half of the movie when you're just running around the house and everyone's yelling at Kevin. You can do that in one scene. You don't need 20 minutes of 6 different people being like, do you live here? Nope, not me. Do you live here? Nope, not me. Do you live here? Are you Mr. McCallister? Yes. The Mr. McCallister that lives here? No. Great. You don't need 20 minutes of that.
I guess. Also, oh my God, wait. This is not even a notes thing. This is just a let's complain thing. That uncle needs to be shoved off a cliff.
Oh, so that role was originally written for Kelsey Grammer.
Shut up.
It was originally written for Kelsey Grammer, but they did not get him, obviously.
Well, yeah. Why would you, when the clear movie you should make is the parallels of being home alone as a child and an old man abandoned by your family? TM.
Everybody go to therapy. All of that could have been solved with therapy.
Yeah. You want to tell us some trivia?
Yeah, so let's go over a little bit of trivia. So this movie, obviously, as I said, was written by John Hughes, directed by Chris Columbus, who directed, I think, the first couple Harry Potter movies, directed Rent.
Yep.
Probably did another movie that's...
Mediocre at best.
Sure, yeah, he's fine.
A poor man's Ron Howard.
But
who isn't?
This movie came out November 16th, 1990. And the budget for this movie was $18 million. How much money do you think this movie made, Cara?
Oh, I don't know. 100 million.
This movie in the box office made $476 million and was the highest grossing comedy of all time until The Hangover Part 2, a movie which we did not need a sequel to.
Boo. Are you serious?
I'm serious. This
that
movie
hurts my heart.
The
Hangover Part 2 part. Home Alone's cute.
Yeah. The music was by John Williams and iconic. He originally was not doing the score for this movie because they didn't think they could get him, and then whoever this original composer was dropped out, and John Williams was like, saw the cut of the movie and was like, I'll do it. And then he just casually was nominated for 2 Oscars for this movie, for original score and original songs. Somewhere in my memory, I don't remember any songs in this movie.
It's John Williams. Like Meryl Streep wishes she was as much of an Academy Award darling as John Williams.
This movie was also nominated for at least 2 Golden Globes that I saw for Macaulay Culkin as Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical, and also Best Picture for the musical comedy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Globes.
It's the Globes, I guess. A couple other fun facts about this movie. A lot of the lines were improvised. Most of Joe Pesci's lines, John Candy's lines, and Daniel Stern's lines were all improvised.
Well, this is there. See, there we are. This is
John
Pesci. No, John Candy should have had more time. You cannot besmirch the name of John Candy in front of me.
I love John Candy. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Chicago. Of course, I love John Candy. Chicago.
I'm gonna get you like a John Candy decorative plate.
Good.
For Christmas.
Please do. I tried to get you to watch a John Candy movie last night. You said no.
That's true. You did.
Was
calling us.
A couple other lines or a couple other things is that Joe Pesci kept forgetting that this was a kids movie and kept saying "fuck" every time he got hit during slapstick stuff, and so
Home Alone, directed by Martin Scorsese. God, like Marty needs to direct anything anymore.
That would have made Kevin McCallister a serial killer.
Yes, and it would have been bad. There, I said it.
I am not wading into this. So Chris Columbus had to tell him to say fridge instead of fuck. So if you ever hear Joe Pesci say the word fridge in the movie, which I literally cannot remember, he wants to be saying fuck.
So this is where I have my bone to pick. Okay. By the way, part of your trivia, because I just Googled this real quick. Joe Pesci was having a hell of a year because in September of 1990 was when Goodfellas came out. And Joe Pesci's incredible in that.
Big year for the fish, man.
Yeah, and Casino came out 5 years later. Joe Pesci was in the prime of his career during this time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Chris Columbus has never been in the prime of his career. Because he's not a household name, all right? He's no Ron Howard. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Okay, he was not on Happy Days. He's not.
He's no Spielberg though, or Scorsese, or you know what I mean? He's just not also directors just aren't as well known as actors, right?
Sure.
No one knows who directors are. And so I think that what happened is that they were Joe Pesci, oh my God, I admire this actor, and then he just kept riffing, and then no one edited him down. I mean, I know that so much of this is slapstick. I probably should lean away from this very huge thing I'm hung up on.
I mean, this isn't Chris Columbus. This is John Hughes. John Hughes just told them to improvise all this stuff.
Wait, why am I thinking about Chris Columbus?
He directed it. John Hughes wrote it.
Oh.
This is all John Hughes. John Hughes was he had the Breakfast Club improvise a lot of their stuff too.
That's true.
So the improvisation is not a fault of Chris Columbus. This is just John Hughes being
improv here.
Improv here.
Do you think that's in the script?
I bet it is because he certainly didn't write it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is more of a John Hughesian thing than a Chris Columbus knock. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a knock. I think it's an asset of the movie. But yeah, I'm sure you could have, as the director, cut down some of the
banter.
Yeah. Our next piece of trivia is that Macaulay Culkin's stunt double was a 30-year-old man, a small 30-year-old man.
Aw.
Yeah.
Same.
You are a small 30-year-old man.
You know me, 6 foot tall, 29-year-old woman. Oh, by the time this comes out, 30-year-old woman.
30-year-old woman.
Yeah.
That's you. Most of the actors, especially Daniel Stern, Joe Pesci, and John Hurd, thought this movie was going to do really poorly. And so that's why Joe Pesci, the Wet Bandits, are like so over the top, because they thought this movie was going to flop. So they were like fully overacting in it.
It's wild to me that Joe Pesci thinks that this is the movie where he's over the top. As if that's not his entire thing.
No, but like all of the like screaming, there's a lot of like screaming that feels like it was 80 yard because it would have been too loud to catch on a mic.
Yeah.
And there's also a scene where Joe Pesci like bites Macaulay Culkin, like he like bites his fingers or something.
Uh-huh.
And in real life, he actually accidentally bit Macaulay Culkin, and like Macaulay Culkin now has a scar because of Joe Pesci biting his fingers.
I'm sure that's not the only scar he has from this movie. Being a child actor is hard.
So, Cara, as we do every episode, it's time for our definitive ranking of this movie.
Yes.
For our listeners out there, we've decided to make our rankings and this podcast around the 12 days of Christmas. So, Cara, out of 12, how many days of Christmas do you give this movie?
I give this movie, despite my qualms with it, 8 maids a milkin, which is like pretty good. That means I really liked it.
Yeah, an 8 out of 12. Pretty good.
Yeah, and like 8 out of 12 of that time, so 2/3 of that movie were good. It was the last third that could have 100% been cut down. That was bad. And also, I will say, okay, like the last like quarter with some stuff in the beginning as well.
A hill upon
A hill
which
I will die on.
alone.
Home Alone, if you will.
Hill alone. Cool. I would give this movie 9 ladies dancing out of
9 ladies?
9 ladies.
9 whole human ladies?
9 ladies dancing.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like this movie. It's a movie I watched growing up all the time around Christmas, and you know, it's Chicago-based, so that kind of pulls at the heartstrings. Kind of in the same vein as like a Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It feels like kind of the
neighborhood
same
does
house.
look like your childhood neighborhood.
It does, a little bit. I'm not that rich, guys.
Yeah, it looks like if the street over was like, you know, 10% higher income bracket.
Yeah. I mean, it's the neighborhood my mom grew up in. So.
Yeah.
No, I really like this movie. I like this movie growing up. It has big nostalgia factor for me, and like it's just a fun little romp. And like, despite you thinking it's too long, I think it's a perfect length movie. I don't think any movie needs to be over 2 hours, and this movie fits that bill.
We say this also as, I mean, you say no movie needs to be longer than 2 hours. I think no movie should be longer than 90 minutes, and we say this fully having watched all of Lord of the Rings 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings isn't long enough. Make it a TV show, everybody. This is my new podcast, How to Make Lord of the Rings a TV show.
I mean, I'm dying for my 10-year-long BBC series of Harry Potter.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And my dream is to have Daniel Radcliffe as Severus Snape. Anyway,
as
that's
Severus?
another conversation.
Why not Dumbledore?
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
Because then I'd have to wait too long. He's like my age.
But you hate Severus.
I do hate Severus. This is not where we're at right now.
This is a new podcast. Why does Cara hate Severus Snape?
I love most things. I really want to say that I really like this movie. I don't want it to just be me saying I don't like slapstick, but I really think that the heart of it was good. The stuff about Old Man Jenkins.
Yeah, you got it. Old Man Jenkins, a.k.a. Old Man Marley.
Was really good.
It was really good. The score was
the score is
perfect.
Also,
it's whimsical. You know,
cannot reiterate how cute Macaulay Culkin is.
Macaulay Culkin is a 10 out of 10 cute.
Yes.
12 out of 12 Days of Christmas
he's
cute.
12 drummers drumming, like 13 Christmas trees getting put out for recycling. You know, like he's wonderful.
Yeah, that famous 13th day of Christmas. Thank you all for listening, and join us next time as we take a look back at the Christmas classic, A Christmas Story, a movie I'm guessing Cara hasn't seen?
No, why would I watch this movie?
That's fair. And a movie I've seen upwards of 25 times because of everything I am as a person. Sure. And spoiler alert, this movie has always and forever will terrify me.
Good.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining us in it. Because we're controversial and brave, why don't you join us in saying Merry Christmas.